What's up, you squares, you ladies and gentlemen, saints and ain'ts, as the late great Bernie Mac would say. What's going on? This is Track Talk. I am your host, Dominique Smith. It's been a minute, it's been a hot minute, but we are back better than ever, ready to talk some crucial events in the track and field world. And I have a very special guest, one that I'm very excited to introduce to the world. He is a baller, he is a shot caller. You need to follow his pages, his channel, The Final Leg. He put on a masterclass when it comes to interviewing at the World Championships, interviewing some of the best athletes, including some athletes that we are going to discuss. And he has an Instagram page called Track and Field Black History. If you have not followed that page, I cannot urge you enough to follow that. Learn something, listen and get more information on the heroes of this great sport and the journeys that they had to go through. And as bad as it is now, they definitely paved the way for us to be able to have shows like this and Track Talk and stuff. So he's doing great work there. He is none other than my man, Mr. Anderson Emerole. Anderson, it's good to have you on the show, making your Lactic Acid channel debut, man. How you doing?
Absolutely. Appreciate it. I'm doing so well. So good to be here to just talk track.
Man, we got a lot to discuss. So without further ado, let's get crack-a-lackin', another Bernie Mac term. I know that's not the most, if you watch his stuff, then that's bad. But listen, he was low-key funny. I'll give him that. Monaco, man, that meet was just insane. Incredible performances left and right. Some of them I'll be honest with you, I wasn't sure what we would get because of the emotional roller coaster coming off of World Championships. And it's so weird how everything was stacked up, because you had Worlds, and then immediately after you have the Commonwealth Games, and then you have some Diamond League meets and some non-Diamond League meets, where gotta give a quick shout out to Sid for just, like, she's out here jogging 400-meter final qualifying times with hurdles.
Literally jogging. It's wild.
Like, I don't get that. I know there's been this running joke on Twitter where you look at what Sid is doing and they're saying that's the walk-on qualifying standard, but even that, what Sid and Shericka are doing, which we're about to get to, that's the standard for walk-ons, which, listen, that they're freak athletes. So listen, if you're a walk-on, you're still a certified baller no matter where. But I was surprised by the times and by some of the performances, but it made it even more entertaining. What's your biggest takeaway from the meet?
Yeah, I mean, I think same thing. I was a little surprised with the times, but I think a lot of these athletes were like super antsy to get on the track and really just perform and show up, like, showing, okay, we won, gold, silver, bronze, or whatever, and we want to perform here. And Monaco is almost always one of the top Diamond League meets year after year. So somewhat surprised, but like not too surprised for the most part. Thoroughly entertained.
What was, this is the tough question. So I'm gonna break, because I can't even think of just two, but two performances that just blew your mind.
Well, all right. So first performance, and I guess this is a performance, but a string of performances, is Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce. I mean, the fact that, like, not only that she ran, of course she ran 10.62 at Monaco, but it's the fact that that was it her third or her fourth within a week? Or I think it was her third 10.6.
That was her third 10.6 within a week.
Within a week time frame, right? Like that doesn't happen. There's literally no precedence for that. And for her to be able to consistently drop her times, getting closer and closer to that, 10.5 that she's obviously looking for, that is literally GOAT status. That is absolute GOAT status.
How fast do you think she goes? I'm saying, so first of all, let me say this. With Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, there's only one person, correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm probably leaving somebody out. The person that I can compare her dominance to in any other sport, to give an average fan an idea of how great and what Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce is doing and the greatness that she is putting forth every performance is what you see LeBron James doing at 36 years old, playing like he's 26. Like, LeBron's not winning, the championships, because it's a different sport. But when he steps out on the court, there are very few times where you can say he's not the best player on the court. At 35, 36, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, there are very few times, even and the only times are in the 200 where you can say she's not the best out there. Like, it is just an insane level of dominance. How fast do you think between now and 37, how fast do you think she goes?
My gosh. But so when she turns, like, in the next 2 years, like 37
in the
years
next
old?
2024 Paris.
Oh my gosh. The thing is, I don't know. So in 2019, when she ran, I think she ran 10-7 4 times, and then she won the world title. And I was like, at that time, I was like, this is her greatest season ever. And now last year at the Olympic season, she didn't win gold, but like, of course, she ran 10-6 a bunch of times. This year, obviously, she's won the gold medal, run 10-6 like the most times. I really think she can get down to 10-5 low between now and the world championship, between the Olympics in 2024. I think she can run she can get 10-5-0. I predict 10-5-0. So not FloJo's 10-4-9.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think I can't put anything past her though. I don't know.
My question to you is, I was going to ask this, am I crazy to think that she's not going to break that 100-meter world record?
The thing is, like, as close as Elaine Thompson got last year, and Shelly-Ann is just like taking the times off, that 10-4-9 is really, really tough, right? Like, we're not talking about like the 5,000 or even like the 400 or 800, right? When you're talking about the 100-meter dash, we're talking about hundredths of a second are a big deal. So I think both Shelly-Ann, Elaine, and even Shericka, I know she's still in the 100, right? I think they're actually all capable of it, but I can't really just go out and say she's going to break it. It's a tough record. It's a tough record.
I don't think that record's getting broken for a minute. I don't, like, I'm sorry. The person who, there's two people, if it gets broken, the two people who I think are primed to break it, Elaine Thompson-Herah and Shericka, because that her 100-meter time just is just dropping slowly but surely. And Elaine was the closest.
Yeah.
I just cannot see, and I don't know why. See, my time for her, I think, is 10:52. So yeah, right around where you are, but I just can't explain why I don't think that record's going to be broken. That's what's pissing me off. I'm not even going to lie to you.
Yeah, it's a nice round barrier, right? It's like just sub 10-5, right? 10-4-9. It's like a perfect kind of just past the barrier. It's a very tough record, but I do think, again, I think they're capable. I'm not sure if they will break it, one of the Jamaicans, but I think someone who's running now, not exactly sure, will be able to break that record in our lifetimes for sure.
Okay, what country? Because that's
I mean, oh man, I don't know. Could be from the United States, could be from, Jamaica. I mean, you have like Kemba Nelson, you have Brianna Williams, they have like even there's younger Jamaicans who are like coming up. So I don't know, but someone in the next like 10-ish years, I think, is going to take that record down.
I'm not going to lie. What about Julian Alfred?
That's a good point. Yeah.
Some of these college kids are a little different. Melissa Jefferson, and she's just a gamer.
Yeah,
that's the thing. She's just a gamer.
Man.
All right, I want to switch gears. So I want to give you mine, because as crazy, this is how crazy that meet was, and I hope I don't mispronounce her name, and I know I am. But the craziest performance to me, this is nobody's really giving it the conversation that deserves. But nobody's talking about the women's 1500. with
1500 is
Faith.
crazy. Faith is wild.
That's Kipyegon. Did I say
Yep.
that right?
Yeah, Faith Kipyegon. Yep.
Faith Kipyegon. Nobody is giving her the respect. 350? What? That's faster than some dudes, man.
Literally. I think people don't give her the respect. I mean, she's getting respect, of course, as like she won back-to-back Olympics and the World Championships, but I think this is slightly being underplayed because she didn't break the world record, but she literally ran 350, right? Like she ran 350. That's wild. She was what, 2 or 300s off of, or 3000s off the world record. Like she's out of this world. That performance was out of this world. It's crazy.
Here's me. If honest gosh, if Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce ran 1050 and Noah Lyles, who we'll get to in a minute, ran 1920, we would be losing our collective minds. And Noah Lyles, I think it's just a matter of when, but I that was the craziest thing that I've seen. I'm like, she almost smashes the world record. And we talk about it like it's like it's like the ice cream machine at McDonald's breaks. It's just something normal, whatever the case might be. And that's how we make it. Listen, that is,
yeah. That was a crazy performance. And what was significant to me was, so not only did she almost break that world record, which was a crazy, crazy world record. Genzeba Dababa has it from 2015. But also Faith Kipyegon, I think she was fourth or fifth all time with her 351. But she surpassed everyone to become number 2 all time. And ahead of her were like these Chinese athletes who had competed under some, suspected conditions back in like the 90s. So for her to surpass all that, get super close to the world record, and even not have the greatest of pacing. I mean, she had some really good pacing, and like the lap she was hitting was great, but she's really debatably, in my opinion, she's probably the greatest 1500 meter runner miler in history. Just because
for sure.
Yeah. Like she's won everything. She's literally won everything, and she just is that close to the world record. So I don't know. It's crazy.
And she's consistent.
Yeah.
Like we talked about Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce and her consistency. Now here's the thing. I can't put her in the consistency level of a Sid and a Mondo. I can't do that. Or a Ryan Krauser. I can't do that because all 3 of them have world records.
No.
But you kind of know what you're going to get when she lines up and runs.
Yep.
But I'm like, why aren't we talking on this more? Because that was insane. Like,
insane. And even just to highlight her consistency, remember like Sifana-san, 2019, she went for like the triple, the 10K, 5,000, and the 1,500 triple. She got gold in the 10K, she got gold in the 5K, but Faith Kipyegon got gold in the 1,500. She's the only one who kind of stopped like Sifana-san. So yeah, Kipyegon is one of the GOATs, at least one of the current GOATs right now in track and field.
What else stood out to you from that meeting? I know what you're going to say, and I'm mad, but go ahead.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, you kind of brought it up. Noah Lyles, man.
I know, that's why I said I know what you're going to say.
Noah Lyles. I think like Noah Lyles here, he runs 19.4, so backing up his 19.3. What do you run? 19.46 here in Monaco, I think, right? So backing up his 19.3, he already ran 19.50 from some years back. What this performance really shows, not only, of course, his dominance and consistency, but early in the season, we were kind of, I think a lot of people were maybe not doubting him, but saying like, Erriyon Knighton is going to be that guy, right? Of course, Erriyon Knighton runs 19.49, right? But Lyles is showing why, he's able to remain consistent and why he is truly the best 200 meter runner, at least right now, right? He's consistently winning. He's consistently running super fast. Yeah, so he was definitely a huge standout there.
Thing about Lyles, he said this back at pre, and that's what led to the celebration. He said, just because somebody else is running fast doesn't mean I have to run slow. And Erriyon, I gotta give I got to give him his props, because to be that young and to run sub 20 that many times, that is, his time is coming. I think Arion, let me just, and so I have to, and I want you to answer this. I've seen as of late on Instagram, oh my gosh, on some of these Facebook groups. If you want craziness, follow some of these track and field Facebook groups on Facebook.
I used to like go into them a lot. I've like significantly stepped back because some wild things are said there.
I go there to share my stuff, but oh boy, I've never seen anything like it. It's reality television. Like they on there casting spells and all of that is crazy in some of those groups. But there's this belief that Noah Lyles is not going to break Usain Bolt's record. I don't know. I don't know why that is not something that people can believe. Like, I don't, he just ran 19.31. Now, to me, the only thought behind that is they think because he was at Hayward, that's the reason he ran fast. But if that's the case, then that's the case for every other athlete that ran fast and competed well.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Like, I don't, what's wrong with people? Yes, I think he can break the world record. Yes, I think he is going to break the world record. I don't know when, if it's next year or, you know, Paris, but it's not that hard to believe that he's on pace to break it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think, so first of all, I mean, the idea of Eugene, like, number one, he just ran 19.4 in Monaco. His previous personal best was 19.50, not running Eugene. It was either Monaco or Lausanne. He's run 19.6 a bunch of times. I think at this point, he has a second most sub 19.7 performances next to Usain Bolt. You know, of course, Johan Blake is number 2 all time, but the idea that, like, yeah, he runs fast in one place is ridiculous. And I don't know if he'll break the record this year, but I think he is on pace to, if not run super, super close, but run the world record, right? He's so consistent. That's like the most important thing. He's consistently running fast and getting you know, much, much faster. There's no reason to say he's not on the trajectory to at least get close to breaking that world record.
How fast do you think he can go? I say 19, between 9. Here's the thing about Noah that I appreciate. Outside of maybe once, twice, a couple times, he runs through the line.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing about Bolt. Nobody wants to say this, but he's not going to be looking at this anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and say it. If he had not, look at his world record races, and if he did not celebrate, I'm telling you, he goes sub 19.
Ooh.
I think so. I think if he didn't celebrate, and he knew that because he was always trying to beat his record. He was saying he was always aiming for, you know, to beat his world record. I think he could have went sub 19. I mean, or very close. I ain't saying he goes 1880, but I mean like 1899, 19 flat. He goes, and then he's easily 9.4.
Mm-hmm.
But Bolt was like, I don't know if you have like a video game console or had one, but if you played Madden and you hit that R2 button on the way to the end zone and you start doing the shuffle like Deion Sanders, that's what he did in those races.
It's true. It's very true.
But, and that's not to take it from any greatness, because I mean, right now he's the greatest of all time. But yeah, I think 1909, 1910 for Noah within the next couple of years.
Definitely, yeah, definitely in the next couple of years, I think he could break. I mean, next year, maybe even if he doesn't do it this year, next year or the Olympics, maybe actually, I think the Olympics might be, if he doesn't do it in the next few years, the Olympic year might be really there, because he's really mad that like he didn't win Olympic gold. So I know that Olympic year is really going to be big for him. So I think Bolt's 200 record is tough. It's tough, but I think Noah, it might be possible. We'll see.
Noah fixed the issue in that 200, and that was the first 100.
Yep, absolutely.
So, I got a bonus question. Who breaks it first, him or Shericka?
I think Shericka, oh my gosh, 21-3, right? For the 200. Oh, I think Shericka probably has a better shot at the 200 record than Noah, only because so Noah, he's fixed his first part and he's still consistently getting stronger. He's still super, I mean, it's like 25 years old. He still has time to go. But Shericka has so much untapped potential. This is only her, even this isn't even technically, this is her first full season in the sprints. Because I think last year she started off in the 400 and then finally moved down to the sprints, like mid-season or something like that. And then the championships. So she has so much untapped potential in the sprints, like improving her 100 and then of course the 200, that I think she has a better shot at that 21-3-4 than Lyles has at 19-19. Yeah.
That's a hot take right there.
Yeah.
I mean
21-3-4 is wild, but again, she's really getting into the sprints this year. This is
that's
like
true.
Yeah, this is her first year focusing on it. And obviously, I don't know like her training right now, but let's say she has stepped back from her 400 meter training and like her strength training, and now it's all sprint training. She gets some of that strength back. Like at this point, no one's touching her in the 200. It's her against the clock. So I don't know.
That's tough. 20, I can see her going 21-28, something like that. We swing her for the fences, but you made an excellent point. And my thing with Shericka is, and Noah is actually, interestingly enough, is going to run the 100 next year.
Yeah.
Based on what he, commented to Colin Waitsman. But Shericka's 100 time keeps dropping. Yeah. She has that 400 strength. You might be right, man.
Listen. 21-3 is crazy, but Shericka has been showing that she is really attacking this 200. She is really attacking it. And again, she went to the wall in Eugene, got that, amazing 21-4. What'd she run? I forgot what she ran. 21
in Eugene, 21-46.
21-46.
Right? Yeah.
So if she's that close, like a tenth of a second off, not too far off, and she just keeps improving, like I think it's possible. I think 21-3 is very, very possible, and she's very driven. So yeah.
Who can compete with her? I don't know. Right now, I'll be honest with you. The only person, there's two people that I think that can be at the level Noah's at. And I know people are going to think I'm crazy, but I think Fred Curley, because he has some 400 meter strength. And based on what he's shown, Arian Knighton. We'll see about Kenny G. Well, I call him Kenny G. I don't know why, but listen, him and DeGrasse, man, you just can't bet against. But I don't know. I don't know who could really push him to that record outside of those two.
Yeah, probably those two. I would say if Kenny B is healthy, he can definitely push him as well, because Kenny B also is he just hasn't run it recently, but he also has some strong 400 credentials. I think his PB is 44.7, which is what he ran. Yeah, he ran 44.7 when he was still in junior college in 2019. So he hasn't run like a really good 400 since then. So I think Kenny B can kind of be in the mix, but you're probably right. I think Arian Knighton is the top guy who's going to push Noah Lyles. And then, yeah.
Speaking of the 200, and actually I need to finish answering that question. I think there's some women that's going to be interesting because, oh boy, I'm going to mess her name up. What is it? Mamba?
The young lady who was, Christine Mboma from Namibia. Yep.
Listen, she may have been hurt,
I forgot about her.
That's the thing about people who get hurt. And get hurt at what people can consider the wrong time. She's for real.
Yeah.
I don't think she's gonna push her in Budapest. Oh, but Paris, listen, it's gonna be crazier than Rush Hour 3, man.
Yeah. I don't want to do revisionist history, but I think if Christine Mboma was healthy, she would have pushed Shericka. They both would have ran faster. Like if They definitely would have ran faster.
Shericka goes 21:38
Yeah.
if Mbomba.
Yeah.
And Mbomba probably goes 21:47,
Yeah.
21:49, something like
Yeah.
oh, for sure.
Absolutely.
Gosh, there's so many, and I don't know if she's any. I don't know if she's to that level if she comes back, but Daphne Shippers, I don't know if she's past the prime, but I mean, she has even Elaine, like Elaine, I mean, how soon we forget, that they're ballers. Obviously, the Americans have, Abby Steiner, as she continues to progress, but that's going to be a race next year. I can't wait for that. That's going to be a race.
Absolutely.
Speaking of the 200, somebody else who will be in the fold is Shanae Miller-Weibo, who ran a very impressive 400.
Yeah.
Now she's probably going to concentrate on the 200 and the multis. And here's the thing. I'm not going to criticize anybody who's switching events because everybody has got an egg in their face. Criticized. There was probably people who criticized Sharika Jackson from going to the 400 to the 200. And there's definitely people who got on Curly.
Of course.
For what he did. Am I wrong? To me, that was a very impressive race. Obviously, I think she wanted to go faster, but 49.1 is still really fast. Am I wrong to think that she's going to be pretty good in the 200? What are your thoughts?
Well, so I guess I have two thoughts. I think so. Her personal best is 21:74, I think. She ran in 2019. I think she won the Diamond League that year. And she's run, I think she run 21, maybe one or two times outside of that. So I think she has a lot of potential, and she's very capable of not only improving her personal best, but of course, getting much faster. I'm not sure if, because of how much faster the event has gotten, where you have Sharika Jackson, you have Christine Mboma, you have, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce is running, 21.8, 21.7. I think Shanae Miller-Weibo is going to really have to step things up. She's very capable, but I'm not sure. So it's tough to see. It's tough to say what she's going to be able to do. Especially again, she's kind of at her, like the second half of her career in a sense. But we'll see. It'll be interesting to see what she's able to do.
That's tough, man. I feel like I can see like 21.6 low. But the thing is, heck, maybe 21.5 for all we know.
Yeah.
But I don't see like 21.53. I feel like, 21.58, 21.59. Who knows? Because she has 400 meter strength. And my thing is, now that she's solely concentrating on the event, sky's the limit. But, and if you, please, chime in. I think the question now is that good enough to beat who we just talked about, the two who we just talked about? Because really, I can't believe I'm saying this, 21.6 at the rate that we're going, you're vying for a bronze medal.
Yep.
Think about how insane that is.
Yep.
You're vying with if our progressions and what we think and what we just said are, come to fruition, that's if that's not a bronze medal, it wouldn't shock me if that's fourth place.
Yep. And let's not even forget. So you have Sharika Jackson, Christine Mboma. Let's say Elaine Thompson gets healthy. Let's not forget Gabby Thomas ran.
I was just about to
right.
Say
She ran 21.62 at the Olympic trials,
61.
Or 61, right? Like, get her healthy again. That's 4 people already, right? So I don't know.
Gabby Thomas is. I really hope she gets help. I'm a huge Gabby Thomas fan. I really hope she gets healthy because I think she has I don't know if she'll break the world record, but I think we talk about somebody that could push those two. I think it's her.
Yep.
I for sure think it's her. But that's crazy. And then we don't know about the development of Steiner. And
didn't even mention Steiner, right?
dog, we're talking about the global stage. What the heck? What about the United States?
Exactly. Like it's so the 200 meters on both sides are extremely stacked. So stacked. Yeah, it's so stacked. I remember last year there was like so many women who broke 22. I know currently this year, this era of 200 meter sprinting is arguably the best on the men's side in history. You know, of course, Bolt led his era. There was like Bolt, there was Blake, there was Walter Dix, Tyson Gay, but like, and even, you know, back in the 90s, Michael Johnson, Frankie Fredericks, Mike Marsh. But this era of how many guys and women are running like super, super fast in the 200 is unprecedented, absolutely unprecedented.
I never thought that we would get to the point where some of these times won't even secure you a spot. Like you listen, you better win the Diamond League. Like you better go out and you better win every race you can in the Diamond League and get that automatic bid.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you something. 2024. Let me tell you, next year, the fact that trials are held in a warmer climate.
Wait, where are they? They're going to be in Texas?
Texas. Boy, Anderson, we need to be there. Gosh, get me a good brisket sandwich and sit there with my and sit there and watch some of this incredible. Gosh, because if it's hot outside, then oh boy.
This, you know, Texas is known for the crazy fast time. So yeah, oh man,
that's just amazing to me.
Yeah,
like the 200 is so deep, just in the United States, that times Allison Felix is 21.6. Which when I watched in 2012, I was like, oh my gosh.
Mind was blown. Like
and 21.6 at this rate, listen, they're gonna be running 21.6 in the semifinals.
It's crazy.
Man.
It's crazy. And just one other highlight on the 200, a couple years back, they were doing like the Diamond League event cuts. The 200 was on that chopping block.
It sure was.
Right?
And for the Olympics too, they were going to cut it out of the Olympics.
Right? So
see, this is the example of the sport getting in its own way. But I wanted to end this by doing some what ifs or just some projections as we head into next season. There's going to be something interesting going on, because Femke Bol just popped 49.7.
Yeah.
And I think at the European Championships, she's running the open 400 and the 400 hurdles.
In a double. Okay.
I am of the mindset that Team USA right now, I don't want to say we're down in the 400, but I think our best 400 runners are young.
Yeah.
Or they run other events.
Yeah.
So let's just say everybody just said, you know what, let's give a crack at it. Sid, Femke go to open 4.
Yeah.
Then they go on the 400 hurdles. So you got Sid for Team USA. You got Sid. You'll have Talitha Diggs. Don't know who that third one would be. Could be It's Wild. What would happen, which is a very realistic possibility, if you get a Femke Bol in the open 4 and a Sid in the open 4, in addition to the hurdles? How do you think that plays out?
So I might have an interesting take. I don't know. I think that, so yeah, Femke Bol 49, 49.7, and Sydney, of course, running 50.6 in the
put an asterisk on there. Yeah, like, we know that's not accurate.
It's crazy. But I actually think that a lot of the so I don't think Sydney McLaughlin would break the 400 world record like many people are saying. Okay. I think not only, I think people slightly downplay how things translate from either the 400 hurdles into the 400 flat, and then also the relay split onto the 400 flat.
You're right about that.
Right. I think in the open four, I honestly think Sydney could run low 48, like 48 low. And I think Femke could run 48 high, like if she focused on the event. But I don't think that it's so easy to just translate from the 400 hurdles or from a relay split onto the flat 400. Yeah, I don't think it's that easy. We even look at someone like Allison Felix, right? Allison Felix ran 47.7, I think, on a split. She ran like 48 flat on a split. She's run like 48.1. She's run very fast on the splits. And then, her PB, of course, is 49.2 in the open 400.
49.26, right? Yeah.
Right. So not necessarily, and, for various factors, right? It didn't translate as well. But then even someone like people were saying, oh, if a Thing Mo jumps into the flat 400 or Sydney McLaughlin, right, they'll be killing. Look at the Olympics last year. A Thing Mo split on her relay split 48.3 on her relay split, open relay split, running start, all that. Shauna Miller-Weibo ran 48.3 from blocks, right? Like I think we slightly downplay how challenging it might be to translate a split or the hurdles or another event into the 400 meters. But I do agree with you. America's best 400 meter runners are in different events. Sydney McLaughlin, a Thing Mo, you could even say Shamir Little. Right.
Dalilah
Muhammad, Abby Steiner, right? Like,
oh boy, yeah.
So I don't know. I think I really want that to happen though. I want to see Femke Bol, Sydney McLaughlin, a Thing Mo. I would love to see Shauna Miller-Weibo sticking it. Like, that would be a crazy 400 meter race. That would be the ultimate 400 meter race.
There's this notion that Shauna Miller-Weibo is switching because of Sid. It's just when she goes over, because I think Sid's gonna mess up 400. By mess up, she's gonna run fast, and then she's probably gonna come back to the hurdles. Well, she said maybe the 100 hurdles, which I got to say, if she could take the top off that record, which,
I mean, we just saw that record get dropped.
That's what crazy. I'm saying. Like, I gotta ask you this: what made you think? What do you think went behind Michael Jackson? I've been listening to Lady in My Life for the past 6 days for whatever reason. Michael Johnson questioning the time. That still blows my mind.
The thing is, and it's interesting, at the World Championships, I was actually doing, in addition to my stuff, I was working with Nigerian media. So I was kind of in that realm when Michael Johnson did his tweet.
Boy.
Wow. I mean, I guess the immediate thought process was like, not only did Toby break the world record, but then everyone behind her ran super, super fast across the board, right? So immediate thought process is like, hold on, something might not be right. So I wish that Michael Johnson took a second and thought, because I understand his thought process, but I think I wish he took a second maybe and just said, okay, hold on, let's see if this can be replicated, because it was replicated in the finals. Of course it was wind dated, but everyone still ran super fast. We even just saw, I think, Jasmine Camacho Quinn, I don't know if it was Monaco, I forget if it was, maybe it's Hungary, but she ran a wind dated 12:29. 12:29, right? Yeah. So like, essentially these athletes are showing that they're capable of doing this. So I understand Michael Johnson questioning that immediate race and those semifinal races, but the athletes proved that they can do it again. So, and I think Toby at Commonwealth Games, she won and ran 12:30, I think it was her time. So like they're replicating these performances.
You talk about Facebook crucifying somebody, boy. I ain't know they had that many groups in Africa, like Facebook track and field groups. I was like, oh man,
crazy.
He just turned his comments back on.
When I tell you the WhatsApp groups I was in for Nigeria during the World Championships after he tweeted were blowing up.
You experienced so much at Worlds, man.
It's crazy. It was crazy. It was definitely a crazy time. It's definitely a crazy time.
You got to write a book on it because you saw the highs, you saw the lows, you saw the records.
Oh man, it was. I'm glad I got to be it, but it was. I'm glad I got to be there. But so many different learning experiences, right? From being, working in media there, and yeah, like you said, highs and lows, the good, the ugly, all of it. Definitely, saw a lot of it.
Well, look, man, we're gonna have you back on. We got to get you on the Wings and Hot Take show, because we I don't know what your level of spice is, but we got to get you back on that show. But where can the people find you? Like I said, I talked about, it's my favorite page, and the interviews. Yeah, tell what was I don't even put you on the spot like this, but what was one of the most memorable interviews for Track and Field Black History that you did? Y'all go check out that Gail Devers one.
Yes.
That one was just it's remarkable, man.
Crazy. And the interview I did with Gail, like we had been speaking, like before the interview started, we had been speaking for a while, and I almost forgot that I wasn't recording because she was just like saying so many amazing things. I'm like, hold on, let me can I start recording? So yeah, definitely check that out. But one interview soon coming, I got to sit down with Quincy Watts, who's he's Michael Norman's coach, also works with, of course, Rai Benjamin. He's a head coach at USC, but he's a 1992 Olympic gold medalist in the 400 meters. Getting to be able to sit down with him was amazing. And, we didn't necessarily talk too much about Michael Norman or the 400 or anything like that, but we spoke a lot about, of course, his time in the sport, and also just some background stuff, his relationship with his father, and the landscape of the 400 meters and stuff like that. So that's soon to come, definitely soon to come. But that was one of my favorite sit downs. But I got to meet so many different people at the World Championships. So definitely a lot more coming. Check out Track and Field Black History on Instagram. There's a lot more coming for sure.
Lactic Acid podcast is where you can find us. But Track and Field Black History, I was about to go into where you can find me, and we'll get to that in a second. But also the final leg.
Yes, the final leg. Check me out on mainly YouTube. I just started an Instagram page right before the World Championships. So that's definitely going to be growing. My main goal with final leg, I'm going to be trying to highlight a lot of athletes who are a little lesser known, not like the super top athletes, but definitely check me out there for sure.
Definitely doing great interviews from the World Championships. Got the women's 4x4 to open up, which was a great interview, which is still crazy that a 22-year-old was the veteran of the group. But yeah, man, Anderson's doing incredible things. Be sure to follow him on those platforms, Track and Field Black History on Instagram. I believe that's the only place, social media platform where you are.
Yes.
Final leg on YouTube as well as Instagram. Phone case. Yes, you can find this phone case in multiple colors for your iPhone, Samsung. You go on FanHub TF, go on the author page, Dominique Smith, and it has all the items that we have. T-shirt, mugs. We have a bucket of fried chicken and track talk with my face on it. Shout out to my good friend, Larissa Hamlin. Oh, just catching L's tonight, man. Larissa Hamlin for the design. And then obviously you follow the Lactic Acid podcast anywhere you get your podcast. And then this page where you can get the exclusive YouTube episodes of Track Talk. Lactic Acid, as well as a bucket of fried chicken and track talk, where we have amazing guests, and we will be relaunching that in early September. I have Aaron and Joshua Potts. They're coming back on the show, and you know how wild it was the first time. We cranking out nuggets this time, and I already got the sauces ready. There's no such thing as too much sauce when it comes to chicken. Well, it is, but we're going at it, man. Anderson, I appreciate you joining me. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode, and we will catch you next time. Peace, love, and chicken grease. See you.